You know they got that same name with different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keshia,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them.
Keisha and Keshia, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't
and
got
Keshia,
it, you
man.
can get some if you heard them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
All right, guys. Hey, we're going to jump right in. I want to talk about a subject that is so serious. I think it's been going on for years. Hey, Jeff McDonald. And well, it has been going on for years, but I really want to hear from the people who have joined, because we got some good people who would probably have some great comments about it. We're going to talk about for a second incentivized poverty. And so to kind of break that down, that's basically meaning they're trying to say that people are being encouraged, right,
to
stay poor.
Yeah.
And the way our welfare system is set up, it's not set up for people to actually do better. It's set up to keep you poor. So every time you try to come out of poverty and say you get a job or you start working a job, it's something that's happening to where you start to feel like, hey, if I had just stayed poor, I would have just been all right, you know. I make more money being poor. I get more benefits being on the welfare system. So we want to kind of hear from you guys on what do you think on incentivized poverty. So basically, there are people who may have lost their job, been down in their luck, had some issues, and then ended up having to take welfare. They had to get some assistance with their living, subsidized housing. They've had to get food stamps and different things like that. And then once they start to get back on their feet, they can't find work that will pay them enough to take care of their families. So they end up either quitting the job or having to quit in order to get insurance for their families or to get food. Yeah. So what do y'all think about that? Do you think that our current welfare program is something that's encouraging people to stay poor? There is a study that's been done that says we spend over $1 trillion a year on welfare programs. And if we took that same money and gave people who were just an individual $20,000, if you were a couple and you were below the poverty line, $40,000, and then if you were a family, $80,000, we still will come in less than the $1 trillion. We would save money. So what do you guys think about that? We really want to hear the sound. Oh, okay. Thanks, Chris. Oh, I mean, doing all that talking and they couldn't even hear us. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, bro. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, let's go back.
we did not test the mics before we started. We usually test every time.
Right.
This is the first time we did not test the mics. So Keisha's been talking about incentivized poverty.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Tell me
and because I've been listening, so I'm going to go on back.
Okay,
she tired, let her rest her voice. So what we're talking about is the system is designed to keep us poor.
Right.
So when you start working and you're trying to get out of the system, it's harder. It's just like, why am I working this hard to not be able to get out of poverty?
Right.
So you end up working, they cut your food stamps, can't get ahead. Now the money you're making, which is still not a lot of money, you're having to use for food and gas to get back and forth to the job. So when you do that, it ends up being harder on the person.
Correct.
And some of them quit their jobs and go back to sitting down because welfare is easier than trying to get a job and take care of family that you end up behind. You're negative every month.
So we want to hear from you guys to see, do you agree with this whole idea that this incentivized poverty is what's holding down a lot of people? Now, we know the way the world works is that we're always going to have poor people. It doesn't matter who you are. There's always going to be poor people in the world. And then there's going to be times when we may feel a little bit, like we fall hard on our luck. Like you could get injured or something could happen where you lose your job.
Or a illness.
Yeah,
we're finding that illnesses are bankrupting people because of our system.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, this happened to me years ago when I had Armand. I was in college and I was working. And they had a program that would help pay for childcare.
Okay.
I didn't qualify because I was working. It qualified for teenage moms, teenagers in high school. And I was like, hell, they don't need it.
Right.
I was like, I'm working and going to college.
Correct.
I need this. And I didn't qualify for it.
Right.
And I was struggling with childcare.
Hey, Mark.
So that's some of the things that
Yeah, so
that
so
we're
here's the
going
deal. So
through.
what we're trying to think, we want to hear from y'all. And I know Jamal just joined us, Matuka. That's one of my homeboys from college. What's up, Jay? We're talking about incentivized poverty. And as a people, let's just say as African Americans, but even though, just in America, the poverty rate is growing because of unemployment or any illnesses and not insurance alone. Is it that our welfare system is encouraging people to stay in poverty? Because again, I know a person personally who was on the whole welfare system thing, ended up getting a job, okay, and it's a male, and he had to take care of his children, and so he was excited, got a job, got some insurance, was doing everything, and he was still not able to pay his bills. He was able to pay his bills and do things when he was on welfare, but was having a hard time doing that, with this job and taking care of his children. And so
it leads to depression too, because one of the things that we're told in America, if you work hard, you can do it. And what we're finding is, and I'm gonna quote Martin Luther King Jr. because I heard this. Hey, Black History Month. What's up?
February in the house.
So they said in the quote, and I'm not quoting, but paraphrasing.
Okay.
Is that you tell the man to pull himself up by his bootstraps. If the man ain't got no bootstraps, how can he pull himself up? And this is the thing that we're talking about, tools. When you give people, and I said this last time, you give people the means to how to do better and show them and give them the tools.
Right.
But we're telling people that in this day and age, the minimum wage is so low and my son Aiden did a report his 8th grade year on how minimum wage in the 70s, a man could he could support a family of 4 with the mother staying home.
Right.
On minimum wage.
Okay, so then let's stop there. So
they never increased it for a living wage.
Right.
We need, and I know we say minimum wage, but can we get a living wage?
Right.
Where one income, nowadays it's taking 2 and 3 incomes just to get by.
Right. And so if you are a single parent, and you've been on public assistance, and then now you have a job. Maybe just doing anything. You can start a new career, do whatever. If the struggle is real, just to take your kids to the doctor, the struggle is real. Okay.
Even if they're on Medicaid, or even if they're, and I say this because if you don't have the money to put gas in the car to get to the doctor, because that's some of the places. I mean, some of the people, like in this area, the Medicaid office is so far away.
Right.
Who will accept Medicaid?
Correct.
And then you go, what? How am I supposed to get there?
Yeah, that's true.
And you barely got a car. And the other part is, I know that we're in an area where a lot of people have cars, but it's a lot of places that don't have cars and don't have public transportation. Because here we've got, I think we do have a bus here, but it's not widely used like you would do up north. Like people will jump on and get on and ride. It's like hard to find out the schedule. But the thing is that the things that's out there for us is so hard for people, and it's like I got to get up 2 hours early to catch the bus to go 20 minutes.
Okay, so again, we've been talking about incentivized poverty, and here's a interesting statistic. In 1820, the ratio between income of the top and the bottom, 20% of the world's population was 3-1, and now it is 86-1. Yeah. They said that 1% of the wealthiest people own almost 50% of all everything. Of the assets. Yeah.
Chris Rock said this years ago. He was saying that the wealthy people, they pay everything not to be near you. They want to private this, I need my own stuff. And he's like, they make sure they far away from poverty, because if you're far away from poverty, guess what?
Now, Mark just said that he says in the 70s being able to support a family of 4 seemed like a stretch with that. But I mean, just even
no, it's not a stretch. It's a fact.
Yeah.
No, it was. He did his report on it. It was the statistics. It was a fact. One father making minimum wage in the 70s could take care of his whole household.
We watch Good Times. Y'all know it's possible.
No, but I'm saying minimum wage then actually could support a family of 4.
No, I'm teasing.
But the other part, what I was saying was, rich people want to be so far removed from poor people because if you don't see them, you don't sympathize with them.
Right. Now, here's the other thing that's really interesting in what's happening with a lot of these families is that Social Security, if your kid is got an intellectual disability or behavioral mental disability, they'll give you Social Security. So there are parents that are pulling their kids out of literacy classes and won't allow them to have extra tutoring to learn how to read, so that they won't stop the check because they're desperately poor, and they're getting like $600-700 a month per child for each child that's struggling, and so they won't even let them go to these tutoring to be better because they need that $700 that they're getting a month per child.
Well, and you know, I had my cousin say this the other day on Facebook, and it drives me insane. They say stuff like, I wish I could get food stamps. Nobody wished to get no damn food stamps. I wish I had a job to pay me enough money to go buy my food. I mean, that's crazy.
Keisha, it's a mentality, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's the mentality. Is I wish I can get me some food stamps. Baby, no. And somebody said this too. I wish I can get one of them fat income tax checks at the end. Like, that means you made less money all year. Those people that get them fat income checks, do you want to live off their income making $20,000 a year? No. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know. You don't know what you're saying. So, and it's like, just to get a fat income tax check, that means you're going to be getting food stamps.
All right, so we're going to do one recap. I know you guys heard about the shooting that was during Thanksgiving in Alabama. Well, the cop was not charged. And I watched the interview with his mom, and it just... When I say, I called my baby like 3 times that day, my son.
Well,
oh God,
this is the catch-22 that we need we went shooting gun range. We've said this before, and you were going to get your concealed weapons. And this is the thing that we're saying. This guy was licensed to carry that gun.
Yeah, a concealed weapon.
But that's the point I'm making. And he was military. He was military, and was he getting ready to go to police academy? Something like that. That was his story. So he was a trained gun owner. And when the shooting happened, he pulled his gun out thinking he's going to help. And the police cannot tell who's who, because any black man with a gun is what?
Right, and that's...
What is a black man with a gun?
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
And this is my thing, like, I'm going to say it. I just really believe that if he was a white guy holding that gun, he'd be like looking at them like they were helping him. But he automatically looked like a criminal. He never
believe
looked...
that, statistics say that's what happens.
Yeah,
and we've known white men to kill people. Let's talk about South Carolina. We've known white men to come in, what's his name, Ruth? To come in and kill people and still be able to be brought into custody without harming them.
Well, with that same vein, let's talk about old Liam Neeson. So he did an interview on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts, and basically he had a friend who was raped by a black man, and he said he would travel in the neighborhood and he would look for opportunities to get harassed by some black people so that he could snap off. And he said it wouldn't have mattered to him what nationality you were. It was the fact that it had happened to her. So if it was Jewish people or Asian people, whatever, he would go to those communities. But then he kind of also said that I had to realize that was 40 years ago and where I was then. And he was like, bigotry and racism is not only in this country, but the country he's from. And he was like, and nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to be open and honest about it. Because you know what? We work and we live in a community that's not too far away from people who still feel that way.
Not too far away.
Well, no, listen, I'm saying I teach kids who are great kids, and I truly believe they love me as their teacher, and they can be white kids or whatever, but their grandparents or their great grandparents, right? And we sometimes have these conversations where the kids are like, "You're right." They was like, "This is what I hear," but then I see something different. Like this one kid told me one time. He says, "I met a kid in kindergarten, and it was a black guy." He's like, "And we just got each other. That was like my homeboy." But I would get so afraid to even want to introduce him or to bring him home because I knew how my grandfather felt about black people. And he was like, and it was so sad. And so he kind of kept his friendship with this black guy secret. And when they got in high school, he got a little more, he got, how you do boys in high school. And so he just brought him home one day and was just like, look, this is just the way it is. They have been friends for years.
Well, this is the thing.
Okay, let's do a shout out. Hey, Lynn, and hey, Greg, welcome.
Hey, G Money.
Yes, and Mark has made a few comments. There's a black man in America. We are dangerous with or without a gun. That's right. And then he had made some comments before, so we'll take a look at it. And then Benero, I love her and her babies. Like, ooh, and she says she makes $5.25 here in Florida in the 1990s. God, dog. Okay.
Well, and so what I was going to say about Liam is, and Sonny Hostin said it on The View about it's that lynching mentality.
Right.
With any black man, I don't care if I find any black man, I'm gonna kill him because of and she didn't say this, but I'm saying this. Yeah. White women tears. You see how white men react to white women tears, and we can't get black men to react to black women tears. Even I'm talking about R. Kelly. and I'm gonna bring it back around. And I'm saying, and I know we're talking about race, but it's the reaction that he had for a friend. Where I kind of get it for a friend, because I'm saying we are looking at someone who just heard her story and took it as true, and we've known white women to what?
Why you always putting it?
Hold on, you didn't know white women to what? Lie.
Oh, good.
Lie. They don't always tell the truth.
Okay,
and
listen,
you end up getting a black man.
Always tell the truth.
No, but that's the point I'm saying. We've known for women to say, be with a black man, want to lay up with him, and the second is over, say he raped me. Trying, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, so even with Lim, it's that thing where you taking her at truth or face value, and then you could have killed somebody that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But and I want to commend him for doing this, because
and I was saying that too, because it takes a lot to be able to, to admit
they gave him the donkey of the day, and I'm like, this is this is not the donkey.
But you know what? And that's the problem. Like, we want this to be bought out. When I say we, I'm speaking as a black culture. But then when white folks really want to talk about it and try to make some headway on it, we want to jump on them. Right.
We condemn them.
Just like the dude in Virginia. Now, I have to tell you, that guy who had the black face and that whole thing that went down when he was in medical school, and then they tried to make him into a Republican when he was really a Democrat, and then they went back and looked at his record of all the stuff that he's done. I put it like this.
I ain't got nothing for that dude. No, I'm going to tell you why. Because he switched up his story.
Right, and he did. And I think he switched up his story out of embarrassment. Just like any other man to get caught doing something they're not supposed to be doing. But the thing was that when they started to look at his record and everything that he done, it didn't mimic that.
Yeah,
so even if he had felt that way or whatever was going on or culturally or whatever, I'm just saying, as the governor, he had actually done things to benefit
African Americans.
Yeah, a lot of people stuff. Yeah.
But the only problem, the difference of this story is his was brought out by a third party.
Right.
And
wait a minute, hold on. Tracy, I see you done joined us, and for all the ladies on here and guys too, you know we doing our hip hop paint party. It is going to be off the chain. We have a DJ, we got food, BYOB, and we coming to get
You forgot to tell them the most important part.
And we gonna be there.
No, the seats are limited.
Oh yeah, they
and they're going fast.
Yeah.
So listen, if you want to wait till the day of, that's on you, boo.
That's on you.
That's on you, boo, because I got the hit today tickets on.
Yeah, and I made sure I told our DJ, I said I want you to be up in there. Pew, 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 pew. Okay.
Luke, no two live crew.
I don't know about
it's
Luke.
The 90s.
We're
in the
South.
What are you? This the South. I don't know what she talking about. We are in the South. It's gonna be some what is 69 boys? Some Tootsie Roll.
Hey,
you don't never that Tootsie Roll. But one of the things about Liam's story is he's talking about how he felt. Yeah. And he's telling people that he realized that he was wrong. He's not coming out, and it's so
he's not hiding it. He's not doing anything. I mean, and that's the thing. We didn't even turn the lights. So you gonna turn the lights on real quick? Okay. So while you doing that, I'm gonna talk real quick about how Cindy McCain. You know, her husband just recently passed away. Okay. She told a local radio station, WKTAR, that she stopped a human trafficking operation that was taking place right before her eyes at a Phoenix City Harbor International Airport. Well, she lied. It's here that she
didn't know. White women don't lie.
She put out a tweet that says, "In Phoenix Sky Harbor, I reported an incident that I thought was trafficking. I commend the police officer for their diligence. I apologize if anything else I said on this matter distracted you from. If you see something, say something. No, just tell the truth. That's all you have to do." She saw that this woman was with somebody. She was of color, and she was with someone who was not, and she automatically thought that it was some human trafficking going on. And I just think, like, come on.
I'm gonna tell you, white women, and I'm speaking to white women, not. Okay. And I know there's some good ones out there, as the president say. There's some good white people on both sides, white women. But white women, y'all are interrupting black people's picnics, sleeping, and now you interrupting them with their children's. What are you doing? This happened to me and my mom with my niece, Dante. She's a little pale than the rest of us.
Okay, but let me put a disclaimer out there. It's not all white women.
No, I said it's not all. I said there's some good. I said there's some good white people out there. But the bad ones are making y'all look bad.
I got some good homegirls that
I do too.
I can shout them out, baby. They some
I do too. Okay. But what I'm saying is for the bad ones. We're talking to the bad ones. We were in our small town, in our little dollar store, me and my mom with my niece. She's a little paler than the rest of us. And the 2 white women walked up to her and started whispering.
To the little girl?
Yes. Are you
to your niece? Oh, Jesus. Okay. I cannot. Can we move on?
Me and my mom was like, but we ain't got that much. Okay. But me and my mom was like,
okay.
What if that been the little black girl? Are you going to ask her if she in trouble?
I can't do this. Let's keep moving. All right, so if you are a Facebook user, which clearly we are, if we're on here. 1 second.
Hey, Sarah Anita, go ahead.
Okay, yes, please. Okay.
Gotcha.
And so we do want to shout out. We want to just quickly recap. We're on here talking about a lot of stuff tonight. We started talking about keeping
poor people poor.
Okay,
she using big words.
Right.
Talk like Trump. Keeping poor people poor.
And basically what they were saying was that is it more of a benefit for you to stay in poverty and on the welfare program than it is for you to come out? Because they even have these
You can't, because they make it so hard for you to work hard to come out. Yeah. They tell you can work hard, then you get the job and realize this ain't working. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, so Facebook users start to please know that when you put a post up and you make the decision to delete it, it is not deleted. Facebook keeps all of your posts.
And other social media sites do the same.
Yes. So they do not get deleted. They're on their little database. And then at one point they were selling the pictures and the comments to help with advertising.
Yeah, because I had to tell them, don't use my stuff.
I know. I saw my baby pop up in the advertisement one time.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's creepy. Why can't you delete it? If I delete it, why can't you?
Okay, so yes, do that. All right, next thing. Did you guys know? Oh, she's doing the Pelosi clap. She's doing the Pelosi. Show me.
That's the only way I'm clapping from here on out.
Oh, y'all, stop it. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second if you haven't heard about it. All right, so too many young kids are using too much toothpaste. You got to pay attention to the toothpaste. As you get up in the morning. I know everybody's trying to get out the door. You got your routine, and that baby in there just squirting all that toothpaste.
No, and they're also
swallowing it.
All in
the sink. Yeah, and it's not good. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, and it's not meant to be. So just put a tad bit. Listen, if they breath that stank and go to the dentist. If they need that, you need a dentist, not toothpaste. A dentist. You don't need to put a tad bit on there.
Okay, so they're saying that when they said tad bit for kids that are 3 or under, and we thought we'd just share this with you guys, it's just a smear. You don't even put nothing that'll pop up. It's just a smear.
Just a smear, okay.
And then if they're from 3 to 6 year olds, it's a pea size. So that's when you put the tiny clump. And then after that, they should know not to eat toothpaste, and they should be okay by the time they get to 3rd or 4th grade.
And they make it in all these flavors. Don't make it where it's flavorful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the bubble gum and all that stuff. Yeah, you're right. Because the kids need the fluoride, but at that age, too much fluoride get in the way. Okay, so we just wanted to make sure if you got little grandchildren, or if some of y'all grown folks still having babies, what y'all doing? Girls still having babies, you better get it together around here.
And I'm laughing at you. I don't care. You come to me talking about you pregnant, I'm laughing.
Somebody better come see about me, baby, okay?
Girl, that was my cousin. She had her kids in her late 30s.
Baby, bye.
And she rolled up at McDonald's one morning with the twins in the back. And the lady said, oh, look at the kids. Y'all grandma brought y'all to get breakfast. I told her to whoop that lady ass.
She was 35. That ain't bad. No, I was like 28. So
but I'm saying 35. Come on, to be a grandma.
I know. I'm talking about 35 having a baby. Is what
but I'm saying the lady thought she was the grandma.
Yeah, no, that lady was wrong for that. Now, listen, who was that? There was some lady recently. Well, she was like 50 or something years old, pregnant. Who was that? Some actress?
Sorry with a B. I can't think of her name.
Okay.
She was in Rocky.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can't think. Bridget.
Oh, okay. All right.
You don't tell. She just had a baby with her younger man.
All right, y'all. So guess what? I'm gonna tell you about these African American sisters, baby. Hey, and our culture. There are people in Japan. What?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. I thought it was the other story.
All right. And so they are reverse relaxing their hair. So in Japanese
reverse relax. They just want nappy hair.
They want they fro, baby. They up in there.
If they know what I know, you better get it. I don't know what's on my fro. It ain't right today. But I was at the basketball game earlier.
They call it the B style, and that stands for Black Lifestyle. And they want everything we got, from our music to our hair to our skin color. They're going all in the tanning booths and salons and stuff and everything, which is what some other folks been doing for some years too. But whatever.
Imitation is the
okay. Let's see what Mark said this time. He says, "Here's what racism
Go ahead. You go
Here's
ahead.
what racism in my high school taught me. Ignorance, hate have no logic or reason. We were called gray boys, homies, white boys, etc. when we competed in sports in the Central South and north part of Newark. Never mind, we just moved to the... Well, okay. All right, so Mark, I think because what he was saying,
I can't read it from over here.
yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's like, be honest about what it is, and if it's in your family, just talk about it. I think that's part of the whole problem. That's why marriages are destroyed. That's why friendships get destroyed. That's why people in jobs lose their jobs, because people won't communicate.
And communication is one part, but the other part that we've talked about here is get out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. If you're in a whitey-white world, go somewhere with a multicultural background so you can meet different people, like the kids that grew up together. Because if you don't interact with people of different races, different religions, different genders.
No, you're right.
If you don't interact with them, you don't have compassion because you never met a person. You stick to your own hatred ideas and your own racism or prejudices. Your own prejudice. You say to yourself,
okay.
I don't know anything about that, but it's like, and we say this about gay people or homosexual people. I don't know any homosexual. Oh, you probably know some. You just don't know. You know some. They just know not to tell you. But it's like, if you meet people, let them be who they are.
Yeah.
And either you click or you don't click. Right. I don't have to click with everybody.
Nope. And some people you don't.
And then
click
you
with
find out, but that's all right. But that's what people think. They think that because we got so much in common that we click, and then you realize you really click with the homosexual, or you really click with the other person, another gender, or you really click with the Indian girl. You know, I mean, and you don't know it unless you do it. You gotta do it.
Right. And I think everybody has their own flavor and the way they like to live life, and don't be so afraid of difference. Difference is difference. People gonna look different, act different, sound different. It's okay.
But difference should be embraced. Nobody wants to be the same shade of beige.
But that's usually when people have something to say.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be the same shade of beige as everybody else. I want to be me. I want people to look at me and be like, oh, she's awesome with her purple hair and
listen, let me tell you, Mackenzie just checked in. And let me tell you, baby, used to work for me when I worked for the Gap, and I want to tell you, baby, it was 100% the life of the party, and loved every bit of her. Okay, all right. So my cousin says offenses keep people from communicating. Yeah, we won't move past it if past it to learn from it and about. Yeah, so that's the bottom line. We got to sometimes, and I learned this new little term, grace space. Like, you give people some grace space. Like, I was talking to a young girl today.
Not black, not white, but
just grace. Give me some grace space. Like, if you were in that same situation, would you be reacting the same way that I would? And if you would, or get somewhere close to that, give me a little space to just have that moment.
Yeah.
All right, so Adidas has pulled a shoe created in honor of Black History Month. Okay, so they were trying to they were inspired by some designs of the Harlem Renaissance, and they was trying to support that for Black History Month. And so they had the majority of the shoes, which were black with bold orange or purple designs, and it echoed the colors of the jazz ballrooms of that era, the Renaissance. And then they rolled out this all-white shoe. They were like, what's up with the all-white shoe?
And I was telling Keisha my theory, but
but no, you were talking about this, but they were doing a specific.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I was last saying. I gave you my theory,
right? I was like, really?
I said they was talking about the what I said. Run DMC them used to wear the all white, but this is not nothing to do with that. No, I tried to help them, I couldn't.
Have you guys heard of Smash Theory? Have you heard of Smash Therapy?
You told me, and I like it.
So apparently they allow you to come to this space. This lady created it, and I think she created it because she didn't want to she really want to smash up somebody's head. So she put all the stuff in a room, took a bat, and just went for it.
You pay to smash stuff and to get rid of their aggression, because some people, and I was listening to something the other day where people don't get a chance to.
Mark has a question for you. Mark,
let go. That's fine. Go. But let go of their aggression. They get dumped on at work.
Yeah.
Then they come home and dump on their children and family because they got dumped on at work. And then the children and family turn around and dump on other people. It's like everybody's dumping. So if we had that smash therapy, instead of you taking your aggression out on your family at home, you'll go there and let it go. Then you come home, you're like, hey, family, what's going on? What's Mark got for me? Go, Mark.
Okay, Mark says, why is it that Black women won't wear their natural hair
Like me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about me.
Okay.
My first, I've never worn natural hair that I can remember because my mom has always pressed it or did something into her head. Any kink drove her crazy. Mm-hmm. But the first time that I got to feel my natural hair, I loved it. And I turned around and I let the girl relax it. And I kid you not, when I drove away, I was crying. I said, I'm never getting another relaxer ever again. And I knew, and it was like that for me.
When was that? Because when I met you
No, I'm saying this is 2013.
Okay.
No, I'm saying the when I was trying to transition, I turned around and got a relaxer, and when she did it just brought me to a heavy depression. I said, I'm never with that straight hair touch my hair. I was just crying. I was like, it's straight. But I gotta say, if you never experienced your natural hair and knowing what it feels like and the texture, we've been so conditioned to want long hair. It's like long and straight hair, and
but you can still have that with kinky hair. Like I'm growing my. Well, you know, I started
no, but I'm
after
just
y'all.
saying
Y'all know how I was. I was like, I'm on the creamy crack, baby. I ain't
no, but
and
I'm what I want to say is the straight laying flat hair. It does nothing for me. All because I know my hair got character and life, and it do its own thing, and it's an extension of me, and I love it. And what I tell people that God made it,
Jay.
God made it. If you don't like it, take it up with Him.
Yes. And here's the thing that I thank you, Mark, for that comment, is because I had to get to that point in my life where, you know, I was just as brainwashed as the next person and thinking that you had to have this straight hair. And I will tell you, so many people are. Like, when I straighten out my hair and I go to church, it's like, oh, wow, look at you, Keisha, you look so cute today, blah, blah, blah. But last week I had my fro on and you wasn't saying that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that shouldn't have to make a difference. But I will tell you, the moment, I will tell you the moment I felt liberated. Because it was like, and I think I have even called you, and I was just like, oh my God, because I hadn't colored my hair or anything.
Yeah, black girl magic. I feel the black girl magic. I was like, baby, it's a spirit.
And so now I'm
you can't buy it at the store.
Okay.
No, this happened between me and my mom.
Okay.
She had her little hair flipped and had her hair relaxed, and I had my fro, and the guy came up to her and was like, oh, I love your hair. And my mom said, the guy said he loves my hair. And she was telling me, and I was like, he's stupid and blind and don't know no better. Because guess what?
Why are you insulting that man?
I said, because this natural hair is what he should have been looking at. I was messing with her, but she was like, I can't believe you said it. And it's what you're saying. The compliments come with the straight hair. And for me, and I've had some people say, your hair look unkept. You know, that's another term. It's not. It's the way God made it.
Right.
And it took a lot of work to get this fluff.
Yeah, and everybody has their own natural beauty, and I will tell you that and you said this even when you were growing your fro, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you're not, you're not. Your hair ain't gonna make no difference with that. So, people, I think it's an eye to beholder too.
And it's inside. Beautifulness
and I will say this.
In the inside, and it spills over to the outside. I don't care what you do on the outside. If you ugly on the inside, you ugly on the outside. But my eyes crossed. I think so.
but I will say this. I feel as though black men should celebrate black women more. I mean, if you haven't gotten a message from us, we're not trying to downgrade or to draw any negative attention or attention away from white women, but we're just saying that, man, you guys should be the ones celebrating us. We're birthing your children.
They always had it.
Right.
I mean, I'm saying for white women. White women's always had it.
We holding you down. We there when you nutting up and acting crazy. We there when just there, period, side by side with you. Just like that movie with Denzel Washington and when Picket fences.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Something fences.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he was like, I've been here, and she was like, I've been right here with you. Like, you ain't been doing this by yourself, bro. Don't think I've been sitting here like loving it because you walking around with a crutch on
fences.
Yeah, a grudge on your shoulder or whatever. But my point is, Valentine's Day is coming up, right? And there's not a lot of opportunities that just on a daily basis, if you're just not that romantic guy, that you may not do that. But not just for, if you're not dating anybody, do it for somebody at the job who's nice, or for your mom or your sisters or your cousins, or like celebrate black women. You know, celebrate women, but definitely if you know that you haven't been celebrating black women, celebrate them. Like
celebrate black girls, because my niece for the past few years, but the littlest one, I called her and asked her if she would be my Valentine. And she giggled so hard. She was like, Auntie, you want me to be? I said, you're my Valentine. Deal, though, because
we
and she loved
Right. We hear so much negative about black women. I'm encouraging every black guy I know. I don't care who it is to you. Just celebrate them. Like, call and tell them they're beautiful. Send them some roses. Say something nice. I mean, just come on. Y'all got to stop being so lazy. Y'all just go around and be like, oh, they'll be all right. No, they're not all right. Like, get it together.
And I want to say positive attention. And it's okay. It's okay for the positive attention, especially for the little girls. But Mark just said something about he heard that natural hair is hard to maintain. It's a labor of love. It's hard, but I love doing it. And I hear people say that the straight hair is easy. No, to me, the straight hair makes me sick.
Okay,
it really
so
hurt my feelings. We're going to move on
because we know how you feel about straight hair. All right, so you were talking about Jordan High School.
Yes.
Which is predominantly white.
Yes.
They canceled a basketball game against Patrick Henry High School, who's predominantly black, because they took some pictures of the people. The white high school would show up with the MAGA hats. America Great Again.
Trump 2020. They would have all this stuff. Definitely, and one of the 70% mixed school that was 7% predominantly black showed up, and the coach called him on video, and then he posted. He was like, "What does this have to do at a game?"
Doesn't have,
but they were getting ready to pay another predominantly black school, which was 80% or something like that, had more black kids, and these kids were getting ready for them. They were
like, come on with your hats.
And guess what they did? They canceled the game. The white students canceled the game. And this is the thing. The families are the ones perpetrating the hatred that's going on to the team, to the students. And it's like, what are you doing? You can be a Trump fan, but why are you bringing it to the high school?
So, and this happened today. One of my kids literally, we were talking about the Star Spangled Banner. And, how Francis Scott Key was the person he watched on the ship, this British ship, McHenry, and he thought the white flag was going to show up, but it was an American flag, and it inspired him because it was the dawn's early lights, and he did this whole thing. And so they talk about the fact at the end where it says, for the land of the free and the home of the brave. And then we went on to read that he was a slave owner. He didn't see anything wrong with slavery, that he actually thought that if we wasn't going to have slavery, then we needed to send all the black people back to Africa, which then became Liberia. And he served as the United States Attorney General during the time he was doing all of this, because he was an attorney who got this job under Andrew Jackson. And so all this stuff happened for this man who wrote this verse, and then you don't make the connection on why Colin Kaepernick and this whole Super Bowl thing is the way it is.
Well, and it goes back to Thomas Jefferson. He was part of the Constitution that said all men are created equal, and yet he had slaves. It's like, this is the thing, they disconnect. They got a big disconnect of if all men are created equal.
Doc, you got to slow down. He talking about that white school didn't want the smoke.
They didn't want the smoke. We know it. They canceled it. That all black school was prepared.
They were like, bring on the hats. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And Mark, he said he celebrated.
Yes, Mark. And encourage your homeboys. If you're a good guy and you be doing good by your girl, encourage your homeboys. Y'all always be trying to stay out of people's business. I get that. Don't get in their business, but you can still encourage and be like, bruh.
Well, we here at City Keisha and Country Keisha, we're going to go ahead and do what Charlamagne is saying. Black men, we need y'all to be faithful. They had a brother on that other day, I don't know his name, but he said once he decided to be faithful and get his life together, his life fell into place. All that running around and doing all this extra, your life is a mess. That's all we going to say. And I'm with Charlamagne. We going to say.
What you say Charlamagne say all the time? Don't be sorry. Be what?
Change your attitude. I don't know what he said.
No, that's what you were saying when you were talking about how you said don't something.
Change the way, let your change attitude. Don't just say I'm sorry. Let your change attitude show that you're sorry. But the thing that Charlamagne was saying is we need to have a campaign of black men loving their women and being faithful.
I just want to know, and I would hear this from the brothers. Now I know quite a few brothers on here who didn't chimed in. Like, why is that so hard?
It's Todd on here. Is this my friend Todd?
Now Todd, don't say nothing too crazy. I've been riding with you for years, Todd, but I just want to know why is it so hard for the brothers to just be loving towards women? Why is it so hard?
And they mamas cradle them. But they mamas cradle them. I don't get it because black women love their black sons. We're two right here. We love our black sons. So black sons don't go out there and mistreat black women. What are we raising boys to mistreat us? Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. Every black man got a black mama. And I'm saying a black man.
So I'm just curious. Okay, so Valentine's Day is coming up. We've been talking about how black women are being treated. We're just asking for the brothers. Now, we're not trying to talk about, we're talking about all women. No, y'all can talk about how y'all love us, but we need to know a little bit more than that. And like he said, let's start a campaign of loving women, loving especially black women. Todd, we love y'all. Todd, okay?
Thanks, Todd.
Hey,
well, and it's not all about gifts.
You need to gift your girl and pay for her to come to our hip hop paint party on March the 3rd. It's gonna be the bomb. We got DJ, we got food, we got everything. So y'all
we got Keisha and Keshia.
What? That's enough right there.
Right there. But what we were saying, you don't have to spend a lot of money on V-Day. I'm gonna tell you, it goes a long way to wash them dishes and wash them clothes and fold them. And
I don't want all that.
No, I'm just saying that you ain't.
You know, one thing I would like though on the real, I really would like for somebody to come in and just clean my house down. Like everything that I do and all the stuff I got going on, I look at and I want to do it. But God, dog, I really my hats. I'm doing podcasting. I'm trying to get this motivational thing off the ground. I'm doing stuff at school. I mean, just got so much stuff going on. I want to get this
in the church.
My church. I mean, and then trying to get this clothing line going. I mean, like stuff I love to do, and oh my God.
I'm gonna call my boo Doja up, and he gonna take care of that. It's done.
Okay.
Done, girl.
All right.
It is done.
Okay, so they got a new Cardi B. Cardi B says she spent how much money? $300,000 a month taking care of her and her family.
Yeah, and friends. And she paid 25% tax. So for you once, you think that she ain't doing all that. But the other part, and the other thing that she does, and you could tell your Cardi B fact about how she scored.
Oh, yeah, one of her teachers was talking about how she scored one of the top scores on the SAT. Like, she's super smart. Yeah, this is her brand.
So her other smartness is what they were talking about is she has a lot of ventures going, which is what we've discussed. You just can't be singing. Right. She's got more going on, and that's one of the things that we're saying. Just make your money work for you, right. And for the people. Oh, my child did that. Okay. And for the people that that think that one source of income will work, it doesn't. We're talking about you got to make your money work for you, invest, and that's what Cardi B doing.
I knew somebody was going to say this. I get there are black women that are not faithful. I get it, Mark. I know.
Oh, my God.
But I'm just speaking from the perspective of the good black woman who will hold their dude down, who will be right there with them, who got their back, okay?
Go, Ty. Said he ain't got nobody. Ty, you ain't got nobody.
But he said he'll be a sponsor.
Well, I find somebody to sponsor.
We'll find somebody for you to sponsor. You could come out. You come hang out with us, Ty. We love that.
You said women. I don't know why. I like the guys.
No, everybody. It's everybody.
He said women, and I was like, we're not inviting guys
because I
love to flirt.
Come on, Ty. Come on out. We're gonna play the '90s music. It's gonna just be that type of I guess experience where you just gonna enjoy. It's gonna remind you back when you were in your college days and you was just kicking in. It was just nice, clean fun, no foolishness.
Single women, see who's out there and available.
I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, my son.
Tell it like it is. Okay, so while she's doing that, I will talk about the new trailer for Shaft. They're gonna have 3 generations. So they have an original Shaft, and Samuel Jackson did it, and now they got the guy who from the Showtime one where he plays the basketball player, the rich one, and he takes care of all his family. And it was cute. We watched a little trailer. Todd said he don't hang out. Okay, Todd, stop tripping. And so we're going to have to see Shaft. Maybe we'll do something where you meet Keisha and Keshia at the movies and we all go see it. Because that's her dude.
That's what I'm about to say. You just missed the most important part about Shaft. Shaft is, the lead in Shaft is my boo, Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay, we get you.
He said he a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
All right, so we're going to talk about next week Killer Mike. He's got a Netflix 6 series about Black America's economics and religion called The Trigger Warning with Killer Mike. So we're going to talk about that next week. So we're going to give you a chance to catch yourself up on it if you have not, because there's some interesting things that I do want to talk about on that. So you will get some of that next week. 21 Savage, he has been in Atlanta since he was 7, or in the States since he was 7. They said his visa ran out, and he was really one of those kids that were the dreamer. And it says that was born in the UK, but he was on an H-4 visa, and so he was in the United States, and he went back to the UK for about a month, came back, and so now it's all this legal jargon or whatever. But he said this has been his home since he was 7 years old. So, hey, Sulina.
Well,
so what do you think about him? Should he be considered a dreamer, or should they deport him?
I think it's a hot mess because, for one, I was watching a show with another guy on there who had been here since he was 8, and he's Pakistani and Muslim, and he said it took him 20 years to become a U.S. citizen. 20 years. What is going on? But here's the deal:
we cannot hold people accountable for going through a system that is not efficient,
and that hasn't caught up with time.
Yeah, that's not efficient. And so let's move on past that. But anyway, so there was a beef between Chris Brown and Outkast, and Chris Brown called Outkast Pootie Tang, and when you see that picture of Outkast next. I'm sorry, not Outkast, I apologize. Offset next to Pootie Tang, it is hilarious. Like, you cannot unsee it. So if you haven't been on social media to check that out, oh my God. Yeah, and Ro, we saw the interview with him on Breakfast Club, and that's what I was saying. He goes way in depth on this series, so hopefully you guys can do that and catch up with us.
So, and you mentioned that all 3 of the generations in
Richard
Shaft.
Roundtree's, okay.
Yeah, because I just saw Richard Roundtree will be in this Shaft. And
also, Doc, were you messing around with Richard Roundtree's daughter when you what? He said she went to SIU.
And Christina is saying that 21 Savage applied to renew his visa 4 years ago, but it's still pending.
Right.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
So we up here holding people accountable for stuff okay.
That's why ICE need to be gone away with. I heard other politicians saying it, but I didn't know why. But now I understand. They're just going after law-abiding people who are productive in this country.
Right.
And according to our president, I guess every immigrant is a criminal, except his wife and her family.
Because they should have just got. Okay, there's all right. So there's a Baltimore 7th grader who is now the national chess champion.
Yes.
Oh, Kyrie Myrick, you go, little boy. He said, what did you say? You was excited because he said,
say it, girl.
What? That he said that he expected to do well, but he didn't expect to win the whole thing. So you won it, baby. Shout out to the
Don't tell
brothers.
me black boys ain't smart.
Yes.
Don't tell me black boys ain't smart and don't know nothing else besides basketball. They know other stuff.
Come on.
All
right, so we're going to talk about, because it's Black History Month, Afrofuturism. So if you've never heard of that, look it up. It's pretty interesting if you get in deep. But it is the reimagining of a future filled with art, science, and technology seen through black lenses. The term was conceived a quarter century ago by a white author. His name was Mark Denny in his essay, Black in the Future, which looks at the speculative fiction within the African-American dysphoria. And here's the deal. He says, can a community whose past have been deliberately rubbed out and whose energies have subsequently been consumed by the search of legible traces of its history imagine a possible future? And that's one of the biggest things that I always say about the kids that I teach. It is so hard for them to imagine a future when their past has been marked so to where they can't even trace their past. This kid told me the other day, he says, I know about Martin Luther King, but I really don't know who he is. And I was like, have we gotten there?
Yeah.
Are we there?
We've been there.
Are we there where the kid can even are we there?
Yeah, we're there. And the sad part about it is our history is so diluted to only slavery, Jim Crow, and then civil rights movement.
Well, because
and,
the people who wrote the books wasn't talking about the stuff we were doing.
So, and now with this, we're going to take over old traditions and bring them back and bring them to the future. So now that we can see where we come from, because, and that reminds me of Black Panther. That's why everybody was Wakanda for life, Wakanda forever.
It was an Afrofuturism world, because basically people kept thinking that it was something that was futuristic, and it wasn't. It was a movie done in present time for a country that had not been colonized, and they were like, if you take this country that had never been colonized, then this is what they had, and they had the highest technology, technological advances, and everything, and how
they
the
still had their traditions.
So it was not futuristic. They was just saying it was just had never been colonized.
But I'm saying they still had their traditions where he had to fight to be Black Panther.
Absolutely.
Where each tribe still had their separate things. So I'm saying they kept their tradition and still advanced.
But it held true to the Afrofuturism, because it was like, okay, looking at the black lens,
it sums it all the way up, don't it?
Yeah,
if you had never been colonized.
All right,
told
so
that
to
you
be
were
or not
ugly.
to be. It takes two people to fix a broken relationship. What do you do when only one person is willing to work on it?
What the Bible say?
Pray.
With only one of you praying.
You know what? I think this too. I think, and this is just my personal experience and my own personal opinion. I feel like that in any relationship, you come with your set of values. Your spouse come with their set of values. If it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a marriage. And so a lot of times the things that I loved about you that made me smile are the same things that's going to drive me crazy, and vice versa. And then everybody comes with something that they bring to a relationship, because I feel like relationships meld together. They don't do this. So if they're melding together, those things that you're great at, that person is not going to be good at. And so when it comes down to working on a marriage, there are some people that are a little more forgiving than others. There are some people who can, and so through your diligence and you being who you are, I believe God will open up that heart.
Well, and it's saying that, but this is the thing, when we say it takes two to come together. It takes two to merge these families together, or, two to become one. But if only one of you are working at a marriage, is it even worth that if only one? And that's I think, do any other guys have anything to say about that?
Well, I remember a long time ago, I was watching this interview with this elderly couple who had been married for like 80 years.
Good
and they,
God.
70, because the guy, they met when they were like, they married
16.
because you went to the military really early and stuff, so they met really young, and they were like in their early 90s, and so they had been married a very long time. And he was saying that the times when he didn't really like his wife and didn't want to be married, she did. And the times and vice versa. He said that. He says, and then when their marriage got good is when it happened at the same time. And then they decided they didn't never want to go back to the other part of that. And he was like, and it took them being unselfish enough with each other to realize that. Because when she was being selfish, it was usually during a time when she wasn't liking him, blah, blah, and vice versa. He said on both sides. But when they both decided to be unselfish and really cater to each other's needs, it was a different type of joy that came from that they didn't want to not experience anymore.
Do you have to wait 70 years before you find that joy? I'm just
joking.
I'm like, what? Did they just find it yesterday? Because them a lot of years of misery. But I think misery loves company.
Yes.
Some people love to be miserable, and they want somebody to watch them be miserable. And I think if you're not working on it together, who are you supposed to work on it with?
Yeah. Hey, Keisha, guess what?
Yeah.
Todd just says he has a couple of tickets to the banquet for the All Sports Banquet. And Tim Tebow would be the guest speaker. You think Tim Tebow will let us interview him on Keisha and Keshia? Todd, you hook that up. Me and Keisha come to that banquet. We want to interview Tim Tebow.
I'm for everybody that's black.
Girl, shut up. I will come by myself. See, God's still working on it. All right, so let me tell y'all something about this whole measles outbreak. Let me just say this to everybody.
You anti-vaccine idiots, go ahead.
Okay. This is ridiculous that this is the disease we cured centuries ago. What you doing?
Okay. He said read more.
Okay.
And I was like, what did I say?
And I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, why are these kids getting measles and dying and getting sick when this is something? So then this whole this one community is a big proponent on anti-vaccinations. And so this lady had a baby. She can't get the baby shots until the baby is 7 weeks old. She's had the baby at the hospital. And guess who's trying to come to the hospital? These measles-infested children. And she is so upset because she's like, listen, I want my kid to get vaccinated. I don't want for my kid to die. So it's almost like, but here's the kicker. You ready? I need you to listen to me. Did they get vaccinated?
Who,
the mamas? Because I don't see them with no measles. So how you live and you fine and then you ain't trying to get your kid.
But that's what happened. Okay, so let me tell you what had happened was. Look, we going backwards and ignorant. And this whole proponent of, I don't know if people don't understand science. Is that what it is? Is it not understanding science in the medical community? Because they came up with this vaccination. They came up with this vaccination to help us. Measles was killing people, and then we stop it, we eradicate it, and now it's back because people are saying, no, my children are getting, they're being autistic. Baby, people have been autistic for years. They never had the term. They just didn't know what to call it. We call them special. You know, we would say that they have their little quirks, but now they're diagnosing it. When you know better, you do better.
Do better.
So why would you not? If you thought the vaccination
was so bad, how you live, how you find, how you have children, how you have a lifestyle, how your brain still works, how you educated, how all this stuff happened to you, and you talk about all these things that happened to these kids, but ain't nothing wrong with you. Sit down somewhere.
Autistic.
Let's move on, please, because that just makes me mad. I hate people when
you
they do
might
that
well,
to kids.
and then what get me is you might well start smoking while you're pregnant.
Y'all gonna make me take my
brain
bun down
bag
up in
cigarettes and start smoking in air on top of you people because we're going backwards. I don't understand.
Neva says she has an 11-year-old that's never been vaccinated. Neva. Okay, we're gonna move on. The death of Christophe St. John continues our discussion about mental health, suicide among our youth, and how that affects the loved ones. And I want to tell you that it does. And the thing about it is it's a whole community of people.
No.
Okay, I don't get a flu shot.
I don't get a flu shot. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wait, Doc. Hold on, Doc. So before we go on to Christophe, what does that have to do with me getting my vaccination against things, Doc?
Well, and I think the thing with the flu shot, they have 4 strands. And they hope that it's the one that's going around.
Because I got the shot last year and it wasn't the right strand.
It wasn't the right strand. The first time I got it, which Armand was 2, it was years ago, and I was like, oh, they're giving away free stuff. You know, I like free stuff. And the job was giving away free stuff. I stood in line for that free flu shot and was sick as a dog, the sickest I ever been in my life. And it was all on Good Morning America, because that's the show I used to watch. And they were like, this year the strands were off. They picked and it's a roll of the dice. And they was like, this year the strands. And I'm not telling people not to get the flu shot. Get the flu shot. Get whatever shot you need to get. I'm just saying that. I will tell you,
the very first time I got it was last year. And because DJ, he's away at school. You know, at school, you already know you go to college. Everybody be having all kind of stuff. So I did it because he did it. Now, I hadn't done it before. And I understand the idea of the flu shot. But I'm talking about a vaccination, meaning mumps, measles, chickenpox, things that you can avoid. These babies are dying over something that we have vaccination for.
We eradicated. Nobody had died of measles.
We don't have a lot of time left. So,
go ahead.
So
Christophe St. John.
Yeah, we want to talk about that. And then Ryan and Four off of Black Ink Chicago, how he understood Four's depression. And I just feel like right now with depression and mental illness and depression, I'll say it again, depression, mental, it is happening more rampantly because of the situations we have right now. There is so much stuff going on in this world that people are not equipped to handle. And just because you may be a stronger person, you may be a little more resilient, you may have a little more self-confidence, there are tons of people that don't. So don't knock them if they don't, because it's real. And people don't open up because because people talk about you, or they make you feel bad because you feeling bad. That's crazy.
Well, and there's no time limit. There's no time clock on anybody's going through grief. And what happened with Christophe St. John was, and I've heard this and I hope I never have to experience, is losing a child. And they say it's the worst thing you ever feel. A parent never wants to outlive their children. And one of the things with him is he felt so guilty because his son had a mental illness and he was in a mental facility. How did he, and that's the other part, you got him in a mental facility. How did y'all not know how to protect him from harming himself?
Right.
And they sued the mental facility, but when T.D. Jakes interviewed him, and I put it up on my Facebook page, T.D. Jakes was trying to explain to him it wasn't his fault. And you could see in his face, he never registered that. He never registered that it was not his fault. He said, because he said he didn't pick up on it earlier, that the ex-wife picked up earlier that something was wrong with the son, and he was like, I didn't pick up on it early. It's T.D. Jakes. So if you picked up on it earlier, do you think that would have changed the outcome? No, because there is no rhyme or reasoning to this.
That's how the enemy do.
There's no rhyme. And what I wanted to say is it's unexplainable. It's the things that people want to say, A plus B equals C, and that's not how mental illness works. Everybody's got a different thing, and you got to work with that person.
Correct. And my last point, because we got to keep moving, is that I just want people to understand that don't be the first thing you do is judge them. Don't jump on them because you can't understand it. And it goes back to us thinking people being different. We got to stop doing that. Like, take 10 seconds before you open up your mouth and say and insert your foot, and like give them some grace space and let people. I mean, God, because I promise you, if more people talk, they might be still alive.
Yeah.
So Alaska was saying that she took her last flu shot in 1976 because she said she almost died in the military.
Yeah.
And so okay. And,
she alive.
And you're right, Doc. Mental health has definitely not been addressed. So we're going to keep talking about it on Keisha and Keshia.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to kind of pass this. So we get some stuff. Okay, go ahead with some finance.
Oh, so I wanted to go back to being, we need to be investment savvy. Not just having your regular job. We need to figure out how to invest and make our money work for us. So we're not working so hard. What we were talking about, getting out of poverty. And that's one of the tools that people who are poor don't know about investments. They have no idea how to invest their money and how to do things, and how to make, in the Bible about the talents, remember the one that buried up, like you could have put it in the bank and got some interest.
I honestly think that you probably, when you're thinking about it, put together something, and then we host something, because we can always host it at a place or whatever, and start to do that. Maybe we even come up with a small investment thing where people, it's $100. It's come with $100, and we invest and try to do some different things with it, and get some people in there that can help us. So I think that'll be a good thing.
And
put it together.
And this is the one.
Not maybe you should this year, 2019. Come on. Put together.
Don't you got enough on that
I'm
plate?
talking about you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so for young people, I say you have time to watch and adjust accordingly with your investments. But for retirees, I say you have got to not do any risky investments. You don't have the time. And my mentor was like, "Oh, you saying I'm old?" Yes, you don't have the time to do risky stuff, and you need to put your money in stable and sturdy investments. Time, and the other thing is, we all need to be investing, but how we invest. As a younger person, you could take the risk. You could take on riskier things because you can bounce back, or But the problem is knowing when to take risk and when not to. So, but I'm kind of not a gambler. I would like to be stable all the time.
On the educational side, I just want to really encourage parents this month, to talk about Black history. Tell your kids something. I mean, you could look up something on your own, and just at dinner while y'all sitting at McDonald's, if that's where you want to have dinner, or if you cooking collard greens or helping with homework, and teach them about something. I'm telling you, anytime I can sit in the classroom and I got kids who don't know about Martin Luther King, and when I say that, they know his name, but don't know a lot about him. Come on, parents. And I know this kid's parents, and I know they will be even ashamed to know that their kid would say that, but he's telling the truth. And the thing is because we're ignoring them more and more and more. We got to stop ignoring our children. These phones, all this other stuff that we're doing to distract us, these games on these phones, this television, this binge watching, is pushing us away from us being and interacting with our kids. I want to tell you, sometimes, even in my classroom, like the last 10 minutes of class, if we finish the lesson early, not a cell phone is out, and everybody's talking and communicating and sharing, and you will be surprised at stuff these kids are telling me. Talk to your children. Talk to your children. Talk to your children.
It's our tradition. It's
all
about
right.
us.
That's hot. That's not what you got.
Public displays of affection. You
yes,
better tell it.
Boo.
Hot? Is it hot when the people are hot, or is it hot when? Because I think it's hot when they're older, but I think younger is nasty.
There should be PDA etiquette.
Well, I'm thinking when they're young and like this.
I can handle some PDA, but let it be PDA etiquette. You grabbing a little pinky finger if that's what you want to do. You kissing somebody on the cheek on the back of their neck. You hugging them, even a little butt squeeze. I mean, I can handle some similar. But did you see that one time? That one time they didn't even know that people were recording them. This girl was leaning up against the car. Her boyfriend dug his hands down in her pants and then had her sniffing his fingers.
Oh, that's rich. But I think
you don't know who's watching you, people.
I think I like it when it's older couples who are still holding hands, who are still. And I'm gonna shout out Sarah Juanita.
Yes,
when I see her, baby. When I see her and her honeydew, I be jealous. But I think I like it when it's older couples. But the young ones, I just think is
okay. What about wedding bands? Is it overrated?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think it is rich in tradition, but a lot of people have decided not to do them.
Some people are tattooing their fingers.
Yeah.
Some people are wearing just the rubber band things. Like I have one. And people are like not doing the whole, I think it should be, it's a matter of respect if you did honor your spouse that way. Because it just is to me. Because at your wedding, those bands were blessed and blah, 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 blah.
Well, I got rid of mine when I got divorced. And I haven't worn one, and I'm like, if I were to get remarried, would I even be comfortable? Because I'm kind of crazy, and I'm like kind of crazy. I don't think I could wear rings and stuff all day because the wedding band.
Yes, Doc. PDA etiquette. You know what I'm talking about. Stop playing.
I don't know what she's talking about. Yes.
All right. How about Valentine's Day? Is that hot or not?
Commercial.
It is.
It's a commercial. If you're trying to buy candy and flowers, is commercial. But if you're doing stuff like what I'm gonna get Doja to get you, which is a maid, so you can get some rest, that's hot. Okay. But I'm saying if you're just going to buy the big card and sorry, I'm over it. My boo bought me an edible arrangement for our 1-year anniversary. Aww. And
y'all had a 1-year anniversary. You got a boo.
So let me tell you, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy about it. Girl, I was like, ugh. I hate this.
You didn't like the fruit?
I didn't like it. And
I love edible. Anybody want to send me an edible arrangement? Please
I did not like it.
And I love them. Chattahoochee High School, 110 Southwest.
See, I told you about putting your damn business out there. But there you go. But I'm going to tell you this.
Send the edible arrangements to the school.
His mom has passed, but he was like, my mom hated these. She would be like, do not send me one of these. And I was like, I'm with your mama. Don't send me one of them. I did not like it.
Okay, how about showering together?
I think that's hot. Somebody got to get the back.
Somebody gotta get the back.
And I'm gonna tell you, I like the water so hot. That means I know, get to
but
be
you
up
talking
front.
about getting the bag. See,
no, I'm talking about soap.
All right,
let me call Doja.
How about using the same toothbrush or towel? Isn't that what? Not Phaedra. No, I'm saying Phaedra. What's the girl name on the Housewives? The one who didn't know about the Underground Railroad. Portia uses her boyfriend. Well, daddy's toothbrush.
I was thinking about Wait to Excel. Remember the boyfriend that Whitney Houston had was using her toothbrush? What? Remember on Wait to Excel? Was it Waiting to Excel?
Doc said, yeah, okay, soap.
But you know what? No, I think, no. We're too grown. Everybody get their own towel. Everybody get their own toothbrush.
So then say y'all out, right? And you thought you packed up everything and you didn't. You just gonna go funky breath or you using a toothbrush?
No, we're gonna buy me one.
No, right then. You gotta get to the place where you're gonna buy
it. Let me tell you, get you a washcloth, put a little soap right there and go like this. What y'all do before toothbrushes?
Oh my God.
Then they go. I just don't think, and I get that you kiss and all that, but I don't think we have to share a toothbrush.
Okay. What about exercising together? I think that's hot. I think when you sweating and you get doing that last little, you know how you get those last two and you be like, I got 2 more again. And they be like, come on, babe, you got this, come on, babe. And you're like, yeah.
Tasha said no on the toothbrush.
It's on. You encouraged me to do those last 2, baby. It's some push-ups going to be happening for real.
What's Tasha? I'm about to say G.
G? It is
It's G. I'm about to say G. You know you want to use G toothbrush. Don't be on here trying to get brand new. You probably got his toothbrush right now. He looking for it.
You gonna leave my sister alone, Tasha? I know you ain't using nobody toothbrush.
She got G toothbrush and praising it.
All right, so a little bit of ain't nobody got time for that, and we gonna get out of here, y'all. So Candy Burris was dragged on Twitter for her son's seatbelt.
Y'all, what y'all doing? They were saying, is that on right? That don't look right, because she was doing a video and showing her son. And again, I'm going to say, sometimes we overshare. Sometimes stop trying to share stuff with people.
All right. Then a woman known as a bikini climber freezes to death after 60-foot fall down a mountain.
She was white. Y'all, if anybody wondered
Y'all
what color it was.
Look at my face.
Her was white.
Wait, and then this dude in Japan. He was a daredevil, and he would jump skyscrapers and stuff.
Died.
No, he jumped the skyscraper. He was fine with that, but his butt got grandiose and decided he gonna do a push-up on the side of it and lost his grip and fell to his death. 65-something 100 feet. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something about people. Some people don't think they could die.
Got time for that.
Some people don't think they could die.
All right.
Have you met anybody that live forever?
No.
Okay.
Hopefully I will meet Jesus.
You can die.
No, I am
you
gonna
can
meet
die,
Jesus.
fool. You can die.
Okay. All right. So we love all y'all for tuning in. We want y'all to continue to do that. Please subscribe to our podcast. Know that we are having a hip hop 90s paint party. It's going to be a great adult time. We have a DJ. We got food. You know, you can bring your own bottle if you want, and everybody's gonna have a wonderful time. And you're gonna walk away with the painting. So please sign up on Eventbrite. If you look up hip hop party, you will find it on Eventbrite.
And go to our page, City
Yes.
Keisha and Country Keisha,
Yes.
and also our personal pages. I know we kind of linked all our stuff together.
Yeah.
And my family, I am personally telling y'all, come on and have a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
if
good
you
time.
want to have a family reunion, buy your ticket.
Right, and we're trying to raise money for so even if you want to buy a ticket and donate to somebody else, you can put a note on there to allow somebody else to come if you live too far and you just want to support us.
Yes, Todd.
We're planning our 1-year reunion, and we're gonna do it as a appreciation to our listeners and have giveaways and stuff. So we're trying to put it together. You know, two sisters trying to come on up. And then also my church is doing a game night, a Christian game night, and it'll be February the 22nd.
Striving for perfection.
Yes,
it's my church too.
Yes, it's $10 if you don't want to eat, $20 if you do want to eat.
Pastor Bolden, I'm sorry.
It should be finished, but we're gonna be playing games and hanging out in Christian style. It's at the Gulf, and if you've never been over to the Gulf, it's an amazing place. So don't try to act like y'all ain't got nothing to do in Fort Walton, because we just gave you 2 amazing things to do.
And the Gulf is at Black Beach, right? It's over at Black Beach. Yeah.
Okay, so we thank y'all for listening to us. We hope y'all enjoy our show. We coming up on our year, and we going strong, y'all. We in this, so hopefully it'll start to pay off in dividends. And so we just want to tell you thank you so much. We appreciate everyone from the outhouse
to the penthouse.
We out. Have a great day.
2 different point of views.
Okay, let me stop
with
this.
the same name.
Oh,
what their name is?
God.
What their name is? Their name is Keisha.